Evening guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the Erfinder Chef Swift Snacks Edition. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so I'll give you a little quick bit, some pieces about how this segment came about. So a friend of mine, a colleague and friend of mine, in a group chat at work, we were talking about ways of jazzing up quick snacks so you can have at home with the comfort of your own home, with stuff that you just have lying around in your cupboard. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start doing these little 30-minute segments called Swift Snacks, and these are pretty much little dishes that you can just make with things that you find in your cupboard and throw them together and make something really delicious and quick and light. We're going to do two different ways. I'll tell you how to do two different ways because we want to fit it into 30 minutes. So what we're going to do today, and this is combining two of my friend's favorite ingredients, which are hash browns and tuna. So we're essentially going to make an entree style dish where we jazz up the use of just your everyday tuna, and you can use any flavor you want. You don't even have to use tuna, you could use shredded chicken, you could use anything. Really, the base of this dish that we're going to make can be used to form a lot of other different entree style dishes as well. So today I'm going to actually show you how to make my tuna hash cakes. The base of this dish I actually also use to make my corn, potato and zucchini fritters, which I love for a Sunday breakfast. So let's get into it straight away. Again, I said 30 minutes. The first thing we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is get our pan ready with some oil in it. Now with this dish you can do it two different ways. So you can actually cook it in a shallow pan of oil in a fry pan, or you can actually cook them in the air fryer, which again, one of my favorite appliances, is a more healthier alternative, as you're not using the oil and it only drains any sort of oil out of it as well into the bottom of the air fryer, and it actually keeps them nice and dry and crispy, and they still full of flavor and really delicious. So we're going to get started by putting some oil on the heat first to get this ready to go. So I'm going to use grapeseed oil here, and I just want to pour a rough centimetre depth. Not too much, you don't want it to be over the top. You want enough in there to just shallow fry our cakes that we're going to make. So I've got a couple of ingredients here. Red skin potatoes is my first one, and the secret to making a really good hash brown is to actually get all the moisture out of the potatoes first. Alright, so when you're grating, sorry, mental blank there, when you're grating the potatoes, we're actually going to drain them with some paper towel to get all of the liquid out of them before we start mixing our mixture together. So skin on, I'm actually going to grate this one potato. I've got two here. Essentially we're going to make one serve of this, and one serve will make 4 hash cakes. So we'll use this bigger potato, and I'm just going to grate this ever so quickly. Again, these are real rustic entree style dishes that you can make in a flash, and quick and easy. Alright, we've got that potato nice and grated there. What we're going to do, you can see there's a lot of moisture in this potato. As expected, they are quite full of water. So we're going to get some paper towel, put it over there, and I want to get about 3 pieces because I want it nice and thick. I don't want it to fall apart as I'm squeezing this into the sink. And I'm going to put my potato, the whole lot, into this paper towel. And I'll just get a container because I'm going to squeeze this in front of you so you can see exactly how much moisture comes out of just one potato alone. just gonna wrap that up and squeeze. And you want to make sure that you get all of it out. You want it to be quite dry. Alright, so give it a really hard squeeze. Get all of that moisture and liquid out. Alright, you essentially just want to be left with a little bit of damp potato consistency. I'm just going to unwrap this now into my bowl. Again, that layering of the paper towel allows it to not disintegrate straight away. Then we have a really nice dry potato peel. Potato peel is probably not the word. Grated potato would be probably the better word. We have dry grated potato here in our bowl, ready to go. Alright, let's pop that up there. We'll pop this other potato back in the fridge. I'm just going to make one batch. So again, one batch is going to make about 4 cakes. The next thing we want to do is get our tin of tuna. So I've got some spring water tuna here, chunky style. But you can really use any tuna if you wanted to add some different flavors into your fish cakes, or tuna hash cakes as we're calling them. And you can really add any flavor you want. If you like a really good curry flavored tuna or a really good zesty vinaigrette style tuna, you know, feel free to experiment with the recipe. The idea is to use this as a base and just develop whatever you can from there. So spring water is obviously, there's a lot of liquid in that as well. So we're essentially going to do the same thing. I'm just draining the tin off quite well. But it doesn't hurt to run it through paper towel either. I managed to get quite a bit of liquid out of that, so I'm just going to take it straight out of the tin. But if you feel there's still quite a bit of moisture, run it through some paper towel like you did with your potato grating. And we're just going to crumble up this tuna as we add it to the bowl. Now you may notice I'm not in the chef get up tonight. I thought I'd go with a more laid back, quick episode sort of approach. Bit of a woolly jumper sort of winter's day sort of get up and go. Plus, I'm also in that comfort home environment. Nothing wrong with cooking in the kitchen in your track pants, hoodie, and your comfy Ugg boots. Alright, so we've got our tuna and our grated potato in here. Just give it a bit of a mix around. Again, just check the sort of moisture in it. If it still seems quite wet, then you might want to run both of it through a paper towel again. But you should have got most of the moisture out, which is good. So the next thing that we're going to add here is, got some garlic powder here. So we want half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Just sprinkle that in. Alright. 1 egg. Alright, so we're just adding 1 egg into this. Again, if you're making double, you want to be using 2 potatoes, 2 eggs. Alright. Maybe not 2 tins of tuna. You know, you may want just a little bit of lighter flavour on the tuna. But definitely with the potatoes and the egg ratio must be 1 for 1. Alright. We're going to add some black peppercorns here as well. Beautiful, good old crack of a black pepper. And we all know my favourite seasoning, the good old sea salt flakes. So we're going to do a big old pinch of those into there as well, get that in there. And you know, a lot of people say it's like, oh, whisk. Yes, a whisk is an amazing tool. But I find that this little fork that I got with a barbecue set a while ago, I'm pretty sure it's from Kmart maybe even, I don't know, I find that because it's got such wide prongs on it, when it comes to whisking things like this, it actually works really well. So get in there, with your fork. It's like whisking with a metal fork essentially, but less scratching on your metal bowl, which is good, and you know, less noise as well. My little one is asleep right now, and she's fast asleep. So good thing about these little entree meals as well is it doesn't make much noise. Just the chef making lots of noise, talking and blabbing on. Alright, so we've mixed it up together nice and fine. The next thing we're going to add is 1 tablespoon of whole egg mustard. Now, feel free to use a low-fat option. Another thing which we're going to come to next is adding some flour. What have I done? There it is. So we've got 1 teaspoon here. 1 tablespoon, sorry, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. The next thing we're going to add is some flour, but you can obviously use the gluten-free flour if you wanted to. There's many different ways that you can mix this recipe up to suit it to whatever your requirements are. So we've added our 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise there. Again, just give it a nice big stir. Beautiful. And again, like I said before, time to add the flour. So I've got my sieve here, I'm just going to sit that over the top. And we're just putting in 1/4 cup of self-raising. Really any all-purpose flour can do. The self-raising actually works really well in the air fryer because it makes it puffy. It's quite cool. And just pop that in there and sieve that through. Beautiful. And we're just going to stir that mixture together, bring all the flour in. Now the consistency of this, it essentially comes in a little bit wet, but enough to form it into like a cake, like a risole sort of thing. Alright, and I'm going to bring it over to the camera in a minute and show you guys. Just combining all that together. This is the kind of thing I'd like to just quickly whip up if I was hungry at lunchtime. And the good thing about this is actually you can form these, make a whole heap of them, form them, and put them in between baking paper. Put them in a container and freeze them. So all you need to do is get them out, pop them in your oil or in your air fryer and let them cook, right? They're even better when they're frozen because they're formed in that shape and they cook in that shape. So it's really quite cool. If you're making it fresh like this and you're putting it in the air fryer, it only takes about 12 minutes to cook, and I would recommend turning it over after 6 minutes. So open it up, turn it over, and let it cook for another 6 minutes on the other side, and you get that nice crispy goldness on every side. Alright, so here we have, guys, our beautiful mix that we've got here. And this is the fun part, as anybody loves to get messy in the kitchen. We are going to stick our hands in the bowl and form a bit of the dough or mixture. It's not really a dough because it is a little bit wet, and you just want to ever so sort of flatten it out in your hand, right? Form yourself a sort of cakey shape, right? Now it shouldn't be to the point where it sticks and falls apart in your hand, right? You should be able to form quite a nice shape and still be able to move it around. And we're just going to pop that in the oil. Alright, it's always good to also flour your hands a little bit, that can help, and also keep them wet. Not overly wet, but just damp. Alright, let's make another one. Again, remember this should make about 4. Grab a little bit more there. Beautiful. Well, I'm not going to let this dough go to waste. Dough. I don't know why I keep calling it dough. This mixture here. I'm just going to shape it. a bit weird. Let's just get our egg cooked here ready. Another thing you got to watch on is they will cook quite quickly. So I'm just going to move that one around so I can fit in this one. Ooh, flash. Obviously, if you're a child trying to attempt this meal, please have an adult present. Hot oil is very dangerous. I myself have actually had a oil exploding accident when I worked in a restaurant back in Western Australia, where I lost a lot of skin on my hand. Thankfully it's all healed and it doesn't look like anything is missing, but if you look very closely you can actually see the scars on my hand where I lost quite a bit of skin. So I'm very careful with oil, and I always say to people, if you are cooking with oil, be very careful. Look at that, beautiful golden brown. And like I said, these really only take a couple of minutes, right? In the air fryer. The good thing is you can put it on. No need to watch it, just make sure you turn it over halfway. And we're just going to get some paper towel ready for these to come out, because the best thing to do is to dry them off with paper towel, so you're not getting that overly oily taste that you would get if you were to just take them straight out of the pan. Put them around a bit. Kind of find with the best heat sources in the pan. Oh, come on, Ben. Oh, good go. Eventually, we got it turned over. And that's really how simple it is, just to cook something up with general staples that you have in your cupboard, like tuna and flour and eggs and salt and pepper and mayonnaise. And like, I'm a big fan of making my own mayonnaise. I really like to make it from scratch. I've made it in the Thermomix before, but I also have a jar of it in the fridge, because those lazy days when I want a ham and cheese and mayo sandwich, I've got some there. I don't have to whip anything up. It's just convenient. So I don't ever doubt jar products either. I do like making from scratch, but it doesn't hurt to have a jar of mayo in the fridge. So really simple dish to make, right? And really full of flavor, really delicious. Again, like I said, healthier alternative. If you want something that's, if you're into a bit of the health kick, which I also am normally doing a lot of health stuff. I do isogenics at the moment, which is a shake-based program. I also go to the gym 2 to 3 times a day. Not this week, but I need to get back into that next week. I've been a bit sick this week, so I'm on the mend. But that doesn't mean I can't start recording episodes, because it's one of the things I like to do each week. And get excited for episode 5 coming up next week. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do, but it's going to be something quite special. Maybe a fish dish. Maybe a salmon. Ooh, that sounds delicious, but we'll see. I've got to go and get some more produce, go shopping, fill the fridge up with some good fresh produce again, and decide what we're going to do. But yeah, hopefully that I can start doing some more mini episodes for you. So these are going to be just spontaneous little episodes that I post in between the Erfinder Chef episodes that I'll post every Wednesday, with quick and easy meals that you can just whip up at home when you're feeling a bit hungry or feeling a bit peckish and you just want something really tasty and delicious and full of flavour that you can make within a couple of minutes and just hit the spot. Oh, these are delicious. These are coming along nice and golden brown. And like, these are even like, just because these got tuna in them, you know, that goes nice with a nice pair of tartare sauce even. Like, just have some tartare sauce with them. You can make some homemade chips. You could turn it into a meal. These are just really quick and easy things that you can make for lunch. You can take for lunch the next day. They are beautiful the next day. But it doesn't mean that it can't be a really light evening meal as well, you know, something that'll just hit the spot so you don't feel bloated afterwards, or, you know, just something when it's a nice warm day and you just want something quick and easy. Something like this is the way to go. So I hope to plan these little episodes and these little meals to share with you. And again, I will also put up recipe sheets for these recipes as well. So don't think that you ain't going to get the recipe sheets for them, because you are. And you must try them yourselves. Alright? Must try. Again, like I said, base recipe for really anything. If you have anything in the cupboard that you just want to get rid of, throw them together into something like this and you can make yourself something quick and easy, light and delicious. I use this base recipe to make my corn, potato and zucchini fritters that I have for breakfast on a Sunday with poached eggs and hollandaise. Yum. It's making me hungry, but I've got these to have afterwards. Yeah, just something really quick and easy. And if you have any requests, guys, feel free to post or send me an inbox on the Erfinder Chef page. I had a lady the other day, again, based around episode 5, put in a request about a chicken and fish dish, and I was really excited by that. I'm really so glad that somebody contacted me about that. Any sort of episodes that you want to see with the mini-series to do with entrees, any quick and easy dishes, flick through your ideas. The more ideas you give me, the more things I can think, oh, you know what, I can make that for that episode. Like, you know, it gets the creative juices flowing. And so here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to give these a bit of a pat down with some more paper towel. Take a lot of the oil off. Give them a good flatten. Get a lot of that oil out. Alright. And let's get us a pretty plate. What do you reckon? It wouldn't be the Erfinder Chef without having a pretty plate. Question is, do I have any pretty plates left? Yeah, of course I do. Ooh, I like this. Alright. Decorate with a little sprig of fresh mint that I have in the fridge. Give me a good leaf here. Oh, what a beautiful piece. Oh, there we go. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Under 30 minutes we have just made ourselves our tuna hash cakes. Quick and easy, absolutely delicious. Alright, please try the recipe. I'll post this recipe sheet and the recipe sheet from episode 4 this weekend, so I hope you look forward to seeing that. I really want to do some more of these Swift Snack episodes, so look out for those when I post them up online. And thank you again for all the support. As I say in every episode, people are just liking and following and watching the episodes, and it's really great, and it keeps me enthused to keep going and sharing more skills and recipes that I love to use at home with you guys. So I really do appreciate the support so far. Again, feel free to send me a message with any requests or any feedback, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week for episode 5. So if you can excuse me, these smell delicious. I'm ready for dinner. Have a great evening, guys, and thanks again for coming and watching the Erfinder Chef.